dinner. Honey garlic meatballs. I said it correctly. I was reading it backwards. And it's probably backwards for you guys too, because I don't know how to flip the camera. I'm going to grab out one of our measuring spoons. I'm going to follow the instructions on the back, because it says, in a large bowl, measure 2 tablespoons of seasoning combined with 1 pound. So since I have basically the equivalence of 1.5 pounds of ground turkey, I'm going to do about 2.5 tablespoons. So I've already pulled it out, but I need the scissors to open the package. And we have our wonderful Epicures scissors. They are really extremely sharp. I'm just going to cut the top off here. So I just cut the top off. And that smells amazing. And everything's right there. The garlic, a little bit of sugar. So this has organic cane sugar, palm sugar, cornstarch, garlic, organic tamarind powder, sea salt, and it does contain soy. It says it does contain soy. It is gluten-free and it's non-GMO. So before I measure that out, I'm going to get our ground turkey, which has been defrosting in my fridge all morning long, all day long. I'm going to pull my measuring spoon out, and I'm going to wash these because I like to wash them and reuse them when I can, because this is what I use to store my meat. So we got that. So we got our ground turkey in there. We're going to get our measuring spoon, and I'm just going to sprinkle this all over our ground turkey. Woo. She's putting it on the ground turkey. I swear that there's a bowl down there. I promise there's a bowl down there, so that's about 1.5 tablespoons because that one was heaping. And now comes the fun part of using my bare hands to mix it all in, because I'm not going to use a measuring spoon. And then it says, form into 16 meatballs, or as many as will fit. I'm going to be using our steamer pot with the trivet, so I'll be able to stick stuff down, some down below and some on top. And then it says, in the multi-purpose steamer pot, microwave covered on high for 4 minutes until cooked. Meanwhile, in a wok, combine remaining seasoning. I'm just going to use my saucepan. And then when the meatballs are done, I'm going to add the meatballs in, and they're going to be absolutely delicious. So you're going to be cooking the meatballs in here and using a saucepan to finish with the rest of the sauce. But it says, add 1 tablespoon of honey and bring to a boil. I have my honey right here. It's just clove honey. So delicious honey. With 1/4 cup of water. So it's that simple, that easy to make. So we're going to set that down right here so it's not going to fall. I'm going to mix these up and form them into meatballs, and I will be back. Okay, so now we have it all mixed in, and I'm just going to make our meatballs, and I'm making that's about maybe 1.5 tablespoons of meat, and I'm just going to line them up like 4 and 4. So you got the steamer pot here. How am I going to do this? So steamer pot here, I'm going to do 4 on one side, 4 on the other side. Put the trivet in, and then do 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, because it says it makes 16. But I'm pretty sure I'll probably go over 16. Last time I did too. So. But I'm making decent sized meatballs. And then of course I'm going to make mashed potatoes to go with them. So, yum. I'm going to continue to make these, and I'll be back. Okay, now we have our meatballs made. I'm not going to start them cooking yet for about another 15 minutes because I want food to be nice and piping hot when hubby gets home. And then when it comes to putting the lid on the steamer pot, I'm going to show you. You got the vent holes right here. You've got the thicker handles. Those are your gripping handles. You want the vent holes to face away from you, so I'm going to put them on this side and away from the handles. So it's going to look like this. Vent holes away from me, and I got my handles. So this is ready. This is going to sit in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to make our sauce that's going to coat these in a saucepan on the stove. Do it again. I dare you. My little stinker. And then I'm going to make the mashed potatoes after the meatballs are cooked. But those, again, are going to wait. And then I'm going to make my asparagus on the stove with a 1/4 of a tablespoon of butter and a tiny bit of salt and pepper and garlic. That is it. And yes, I will be using our garlic to make the asparagus. Okay. So far, I've cut up my asparagus. I thought I was recording, but apparently I wasn't. I did about that size. It's got butter on it. That size. And all of them are about that size, even the tips. So now I'm going to do about a tablespoon of the garlic aioli. That's what I've got, the garlic aioli. And I'm going to put that on there. So there's our tablespoon of the garlic aioli. I'm going to go salt, dash, that's it. Pepper, dash, dash, that's it. So we have garlic, salt, and pepper on our asparagus. That is all that it needs. Because there is a little bit of salt in the butter, because I didn't grab the unsalted this time. But garlic aioli, salt, and pepper on the asparagus. And that comes over here to get on the stove. Now, I'm going to stick this back up over here in my little collection here. There we go. There's no real rhyme and reason to how things are up on the shelf, but it is organized and up on the shelf. Now, to make the sauce for the meatballs, which I'll put in the microwave here in about 5 minutes, we're going to get it ready here in our saucepan. So saucepan down. What's left of your packet from putting it on the meat? There's quite a bit in there. Put it all in that saucepan. And then you want 3/4 cup of water. I'm a little bit under. Let me get a little bit more in there. And then I will show you when I'm done. Okay, that is 3/4 cup of water. We're going to pour that in there. This is one of our measuring prep bowls. They have measurements on them. I'm not sure if you can make it out. 3/4, half, a fourth. This is 1 full cup. So, even just adding the water to it and making it smells amazing. Now I'm going to come in with some honey. It says 1 tablespoon of honey. I'm going to do 2, because why not? So, we're going to squeeze our honey out. I finally made it through my big bowl of honey. So now I'm on to this little dude. And I use my honey for my vinegar when I shoot my vinegar at night. So honey going into the pan. Now we're going to get some more. I'm going to do about a half. There we go. That's about a half a tablespoon. And we're just going to let that drip off of the spoon into the pan. And then stir it all around. And once our meatballs are pretty much cooked in the microwave, I'm going to start this simmering on the stove. Watch it constantly because it's going to thicken up, and once it thickens up, that's when you add your meatballs to it, and it'll be delicious to serve over the mashed potatoes with the asparagus on the side. So I'll be back and show you the finished picture, or even show you a glimpse of what this looks like thickened up. So I want to make sure all the honey gets off that measuring spoon. Yum! But that's going to go back on the stove. And I'm going to start that on low. Now I'm going to get in my fridge and grab out the meatballs and get them going. Give me 1 minute. Okay, we got our meatballs. Right there. They're in rows of 3. So I got 12 here. Because I got 3, 6, 9, 12. I can count by 3s. Woohoo! And there again, make sure your vent holes are away from you. I'm going to put this in the microwave for 4 minutes, and then we will check on it. And if I feel they need a little bit longer, I will add them in for a little bit longer. So, stepping right back here. And we are going to put this whole thing in the microwave. When I go to take it out, that's why this towel's here. I'm going to use this towel to help grab it so I don't burn myself, because it will be hot. My son never cleared it, and then we're going to go 4 minutes, because that's what it says to cook them at, 4 minutes. And then I've got both the asparagus and the sauce cooking. The asparagus is on medium, and the sauce is on low. And I will come back and show you what the sauce looks like once it's all thickened up and ready for the meatballs. Okay, I decided I wanted the sauce to have that little tiny hint of spice. So I'm going to grab our Bloody Mary mix, which was one of our summer mixes. It's no longer available, but should be back next summer. And I'm going to take a small pinch, I got some between my fingers, and we're just going to sprinkle it into that sauce. And that is all I'm going to do, that tiny pinch, because a little goes a long way with the Bloody Mary mix. And it is delicious. Goes great on chicken, pork, steaks, yum. Okay, this is our sauce, and I'm just going to whisk it every so often so it's cooking. Now, if I move you over to the other side, we have our asparagus, and I'm just going to periodically go through and stir them up. And they are, it all together, everything smells amazing, absolutely amazing. So, a delicious dinner. And our sauce, I'm dealing more with the sauce because asparagus pretty much cooks itself. I have it on medium-low, so I'm just going to let it saute and do its thing. This is what takes the most of your time because you don't want to burn the sugar, but yet at the same time you want it to thicken up. Which is starting to a tiny bit, but I gotta let it heat all the way through. I did put another 4 more minutes on my meatballs just to make sure they're cooked all the way through. I believe they only really needed another 2 more minutes, so that would have been about 6 minutes to cook the size meatballs I had, which are about the equivalent of a 1.5 tablespoons worth size of meatballs. And once they are done, I'm going to pull them out and hold them warm in the steamer pot while I make the mashed potatoes. Yes, I'm doing the mashed potatoes instead of our wonderful au gratin potatoes, because we do have those. I'm saving those for Thanksgiving. So this is what I'm doing, just a simple box of mashed potatoes. There again, I'm going to take 2 cups of water and put it into the bowl, microwave it. Potatoes are done. So that's simple. And our sauce is starting to slowly thicken up. Our asparagus is looking absolutely and smelling absolutely delicious. The meatballs smell amazing. If I take a step back and smell those meatballs, oh my goodness. The smell coming off the microwave is absolutely amazing. Mr. Man, what are you doing? Yeah. He was trying to get on the black shelf. I have that shelf directly over there. Their food is in a thing down below. That holds my pans and flour and just condiments and stuff. No need for him to be on there. And you see, I'm not stirring it constantly. I'm just stirring it when I think it needs it. And it's slowly thickening up and doing what it needs to. And now I'm over on the asparagus, making sure it gets cooked all the way through. Our meatballs smell amazing. They got 7 seconds left to them. So, actually, let me get my towel ready. Towel. That way I can pull them out and not burn myself. And then I will show you what they look like. I'm supporting the bottom while I have the handle. So, give me 1 minute. The go ahead and close the microwave while we've got it. And then I'm going to pop this lid off real quick, just so I can show you. And these are done. These look and smell absolutely amazing. Wonderful meatballs cooked completely all the way through. Yum. Now we're pretty much just waiting on the sauce to cook through, which is starting to thicken up a little bit. I want them to thicken up more. I want it thicker than that. Come on. There we go. Now we're going to put this lid back on so it holds warm, because it creates a suction and the steam only comes out those little tiny vents at the top. So now the steam will only come out those tiny vents right there at the top. So I'm going to set that right there. And then I'm going to get my 2 cups of water and boil them in the microwave. After I stir things here, gotta stir things. And then this is looking amazing. So I'm going to get the potatoes ready and finish the sauce and then show you just how amazing this sauce can be. I'm going to turn it down just a tad to show you just how amazing and thick this sauce gets. So bear with me 1 minute. Okay, now look at how thick our sauce has gotten. This is almost perfect. Almost perfect. Absolutely thickening up and delicious. I want it a little bit thicker. And then I will coat the meatballs in it, and it will have some extra juice as well. And then we'll serve it over the potatoes. Yum! Okay, now comes the fun part. I'm going to get a fork to help pick these up. And one by one, these lovely meatballs are going into our thickened sauce. Yum. Yummy! So one by one. And then we're going to take the trivet out. And then we're going to carefully get the ones from the bottom as well. I don't want the fat globs, I just want the meatballs. So any little fat globs that are on them, I'm going to knock off. And our lovely meatballs. Wait till you see them coated in the sauce. Yum. And there again, I have 12 meatballs. It claims it makes 14, but I made 12. I made them a tad bit bigger than what they suggest, but that's okay. And then with the trivet, you see all that extra fat and stuff there? We're leaving that out, and that's just going to go over there. So we don't want that. Let me stir my asparagus real quick. Whoop! Stay in the pan. Asparagus is just about done. Now I'm going to stir the meatballs gently so they all get coated. And look at how delicious they are when they're coated. Absolutely delicious. And our sauce is thick. It's kind of like a gravy. So, yum! Now that was the water for the potatoes. So now I get the potatoes and mix them up. And when it comes time to serve up and everything, I will take a picture and show you just how delicious. Yum!